Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a new update video on the channel. Hope you guys are keeping well. We finally have a breakthrough with the Jhon Arias deal, which I'll talk about today, alongside one or two other little bits and pieces of news. As always, be sure to smash the like button down below. Let's try and hit 400 likes on today's video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And a big shout out to our channel partners for today's video, Seatfrog. If you're a user of the train system here in the United Kingdom, be sure to go and check them out. You can book your trains on there, change train times. You can even bid for first class seats as well. But if there's an away game coming up, use it for work. Maybe Stoke away next week in pre-season, or if you want to take your friends and family somewhere nice this summer as well, use the code WOLVESFROG at the checkout for the first time for £3 off. But yes, we have finally made a breakthrough on the Jhon Arias deal. I wasn't worried at all really, but it was just getting a little bit frustrating with how long this deal was taking. I made it pretty clear to you guys a couple of days ago that the club was still always confident about this deal happening. There was quite a lot going on yesterday. There were a lot of reports in Brazil about it. I think from the Fluminense side of things, there was sort of not so much leaking things, but briefing their local journalists to almost make out to their fans that, look, they don't want to just bend over and let Arias move from Wolves' first bid. So they have had to work. They've had to chisel a little bit more money from Wolves, but also from his former club as well, which I'll get into. But there were a number of news stories yesterday, and I think really that stumbling block that was Fluminense wanted to get more money out of the deal, and it's thought that they would have to speak to Arias' former club in Colombia just to try and get that sell-on fee down a little bit. Now, it looks like that has been the case, and it was around 12:30, 1 a.m. this morning that we had the article from GE Globo, who have been pretty much bang on throughout this whole process of Wolves being interested in Jhon Arias, and they have said the deal has now been agreed. Full agreement in place, 17 million euros plus an additional 5 million euros in add-ons. Fluminense will keep 10% of the profit if Jhon Arias was ever to move on as well. From that 17 million euros, Fluminense are going to get 11 of it, and obviously 6 million euros is going to go to his former side in Colombia as well. So that's been dealt with. It's said that they're just waiting on a UK visa. Personal terms hopefully will get done by the weekend, and across Sunday or Monday he'll be flying across to the UK to get the final bits done. So announcement more than likely going to be probably middle of next week, I would assume, unless Wolves do announce it a little bit earlier. But I would assume they'll want to get him in Compton, get him photographed and so on. Now, the one minor issue I've got with this is that Fluminense actually play tonight against Cruzeiro in the Macarena Stadium in Brazil, 11:30 kickoff UK time, and it's said that Jhon Arias is going to be available to play in that match almost as his farewell. Now, of course, maybe the negatives of this is that really a player who you're about to sign, do you really want him playing in this match with the risk of an injury? I don't know. So it'll be interesting from the Fluminense side of things. We'll probably know better around 10:30 this evening. Is he going to start the game? Will he start on the bench? In an ideal world for me, if they wanted to be in the match day squad, he maybe starts the game and comes on for like the last 5 or 10 minutes. If he starts, I'm a little bit worried, to be fair. But you know what, hopefully he plays, he comes out of it in one piece, no injury, and we can crack on with a move over the next couple of days or so. But Jhon Arias to Wolves looks like it's finally going to be happening, and fingers crossed we get some more positive news on incomings as well. Not really gone much with Mark Pubel at the moment, the right back, the Spanish right back, not really gone anywhere just there with that yet. Heard slight whispers about Kyle Walker-Peters again today, but nothing too concrete on that. So at the moment, the right back situation, I don't know. Nelson Semedo, of course, we've got no news on him. I would say, I've said it the last 2 weeks, maybe by pre-season he'll decide, maybe by the time they go to Portugal he'll decide. I think next week is really, for me, the deadline, because everyone's back then. Hugo Bueno and Rodrigo Gomes will be back. We'll have the full squad back. That has got to be the deadline this weekend, really, for me, to know what's going on with Nelson Semedo. Wolves do have one more game in Portugal. I don't know when it is. I would assume it's going to be tomorrow, more than likely maybe Saturday. Another behind closed doors training match. But in terms of opposition or anything, nothing has been confirmed as of yet. One player that won't be taking part in that is Jose Sa. He picked up an eye injury during training. He took a ball to the eye and it's knocked him about a little bit. So he's not taking part in any more of the matches whilst they're in Portugal. It's not thought to be anything major, but by next week hopefully he should be back, and fingers crossed in a position maybe from the Stoke game onwards that he can play. And then Goncalo Guedes, who did take part in that game against Santa Clara, has had some interest. Now in Spain, Marca, they've reported that a number of Spanish teams have inquired about Goncalo Guedes to understand the conditions of a potential deal. Again, it's the finances of the deal. His wage at Wolves is pretty significant, to be fair. A wage that not many Spanish teams will probably want to commit to. Of course, as Wolves fans, we know the loan deals get frustrating, but I think if there's a loan deal with an obligation on the line, maybe Wolves would consider it. But yeah, a lot of Spanish teams considering a potential move. Another story we saw a day or so ago is that Besiktas over in Turkey, managed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, have reportedly looking at Guedes as well. They're looking at a loan with an option to buy. Again, I've never been a big fan, like I've mentioned many times before. I've never been a big fan of reports coming from Turkey. I think there's a lot of speculation, very, very high miss rate, in my opinion, of their stories. Their conversion rate is so poor over in Turkey. So Guedes is one maybe Besiktas will look at, but again, I wouldn't hold our breath on that one. I think that there's going to be question marks over a number of Wolves forwards. Goncalo Guedes, Hwang Chan, Sasha, I mentioned in the last video, may well go out on loan. But as of right now, I don't think they'll be in a major rush to let any of those go until a proper offer is on the table. But guys, that is all for today. Positive news about Jhon Arias. As always, be sure to follow us on all the socials at Talking Wolves everywhere to keep up to date with the latest Wolves news. I'll probably do a full length video on Jhon Arias, talking more about the player. We've got the expert insight as well. That'll probably drop around this time tomorrow, so Friday afternoon, evening as well. But as always, guys, be sure to smash the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, go and check out Seat Frog in the top of the description down below. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one.